Elections have consequences, right? And this is what happens if Kamala Harris becomes a president. They have unveiled their tax plan of how much money they're going to take from you and it's going to go to the U.S. government. By the way, when you hear this tax plan, we're going to break it down. Most people don't have time to go through this. We will in a very fast way because here's what's going on. The constant narrative you hear is the wealthy don't pay their fair share in taxes, right? It's the poor that pay the taxes, but not the wealthy. Watch this.
Welcome to the Freedom Unchained channel. This is going to be a one you want to share with your liberal friends or the Democrats you know that are going to vote for Kamala Harris. PBD went in detail and explained her tax plan, but there's one clip I wanted to share with you guys. The clip about the 25% on unrealized gains and how destructive that is. And I know your Democratic friends or you Democrats are going to say, it only affects the rich. It's not going to affect the poor, middle class, the people not making more than $400,000 a year. But soon, if this inflation keeps going, we're all going to be making over $400,000 a year and only feel like we're making $30,000 a year. And it's not inflation because of Trump's tax plan, as they want to say. It's inflation because you print money. But off topic, they're going to say it only affects the rich. But that's because they only think linearly. They don't think about the multiple layers of how the economy works. And if that was implemented, you would see with this behind me in America, a complete meltdown of the stock market. He explains it very well, so I wanted him to explain it to you. But after that, I'm going to go into more detail of what actually would happen if this was implemented. So let's get to that clip.
The main thing I want you to think about is the following. Kamala Harris proposed a billionaire minimum tax target individuals with a net worth of $100 million or more, requiring them to pay a 25% tax on their unrealized gains, profits on assets that haven't been sold. So you own the stock, you own this company, you haven't sold it. The money hasn't come to you. It's sitting there. It's paper rich. She wants 25% of that to be taxed. So we asked ChatGPT. This is what ChatGPT told us what it would look like if they, by the way, we put the entire tax plan in ChatGPT. That's her plan from her words, their group. And we said, if this was the case, how much would Musk, Bezos, Gates, Arnold, all these guys, what would they pay? This is what ChatGPT told us. Musk's unrealized gains is $92 billion. He would have to pay $23 billion of that unrealized. Bernard Arnault has $17 billion. He would pay 4.25. Jeff Bezos will pay 17.5. Gates, $8 billion. Ballmer, 11.3. Zuck, 20.6. Page, 10.7. Ellison, 7.8. Sergey Brin, 10.1. Warren Buffett, 3.2. Now you may say, who cares? These guys can afford it. What's the big deal? Why are you protecting these billionaires? That's not the point. You ready? Let's say you're 62 years old and you have $700,000 in your 401k. You're getting ready to retire in the next 3 to 7 years, right? All of a sudden, this becomes a law. And billionaires' incentive is like, wait a minute, I have to pay this much taxes. Yes, guys, we got to lay people off. We got to fire people. Who? A quarter of the entire employee. We're firing everybody. Are you serious? Yes, because I got to find a way to pay these taxes. I don't know how to do it. I'm going to go broke. Well, that's not fair for you to do this. I have to do it. Boom. The market reacts. All of a sudden, the market tanks 50%. You're 62 years old. You had $700,000 in a 401k. You were hoping to retire by 7 years old, maybe 65 years old. That $700 becomes $350,000 overnight. How much longer do you think you have to work? Oh, it's not going to affect average middle Americans. We're only targeting the wealthy, not average and middle America. Really? Really? What do you think these guys do? You think when the money comes in, they just go buy exotic cars that reinvest into the company? How do you think a company gets bigger by itself or somebody risking constantly reinvesting? They're delaying the outcome of them taking money off the table. That's a lot of risk when you have paper wealth. So somebody could be worth, there was a time on paper, I was worth a couple $100 million. But in cash, I was only worth $5 million. So you are so rich. On paper, but if this thing goes out of business, I'm not worth $200 million because we kept reinvesting. So now.
So Patrick Bet-Davis is explaining by showing you the numbers of how much money all these billionaires will have to pay. And if I believe right, that would be on a year-to-year basis. Every year they would have to sell off assets because, of course, they're not going to have the cash. These billionaires don't have cash. All of their money is in the stock market. So for them to pay off these unrealized capital gain taxes They would have to go into the stock market, sell that much money, billions, tens of billions of dollars in assets. The snowball effect on this would be catastrophic, huge on the American economy, because the more and more they sold, the lower the value of the companies that they hold would be, and the more and more they would have to sell each year to pay these taxes. So these smart people would be gone quicker than you could blink an eye. That would bring all the valuations of these companies, these United States companies, down, and would make your retirement worth less. So he was explaining there, if you had, let's say, $1 million in retirement, and you thought you were going to live off of that, which is a pretty low number, you might only have about half of that by the time the government gets done pillaging the wealthy. But that's not the only thing that would happen. These billionaires actually have the opportunity to leave the United States. So they would take their companies, they would pack them up, and they would move them overseas to another country that has low taxes. So they can continue to do business because they're businessmen. They're not just going to ball up in the corner and stop doing business just because the government's stealing all their money. And do you really want the government to have that much money? They're not doing anything worthwhile for the people right now. They're just creating more jobs, which are just government jobs, pushing around papers, prosecuting people, going after people that they don't need to be going after against their fake laws. Which reminds me, if you don't understand law, true law, or the process of being able to protect yourself in a courtroom, you need to go to the Sovereign's Way Club and join and start learning how to protect you and your family today. It's in the description down below. I'll also pin a comment for you guys to find it easier. But go there and take the free course, and you can start learning the fundamentals of law. And if you feel the need to learn more, which you should feel the need to learn more in these communist days, then you can donate and you can get deeper into learning law through the multiple courses that they have. It's great for anybody, everybody in America or any other common law country to protect themselves against these communist ideas. And then go ahead and watch the What is Communist video that I just made and just posted today. That'll be in the description below on Watch Next video. And I explain to you the Marxist 10 pillars and how they have already implemented them in the United States and pretty much all around the world, because the United States was pretty much was the only first and last free nation, but it has been taken over by communists a long time ago. They have implemented all of their pillars or planks, whatever you want to call them. I really don't care because it's just evil. And share this video around to everybody that needs to actually understand economics and show them how destructive Kamala's 25% unrealized gain tax plan is. There is no economist that actually thinks her plan is better than Trump's. It would be the experts doing the bidding of the deep state propagandists that work for the 13 families that want to control the world. You know, those ones that worship the devil, that believe they are direct descendants of Lucifer? Yeah, those 13 families. Those are the ones controlling the deep state. It's not just the deep state in America. They're all over the world. And they want to implement communist ideas. And their communist ideas is not the rainbows and gumdrops that the communists that believe it's for a better world, but the ones at the top. Those communists, they understand how communism actually works. It's authoritarian and control over everybody. So if you like this video, please share it around. Please smash the like button, leave a comment, let's get a conversation started. And like always, I'm going to leave you guys in the love and the light of the one infinite creator. Peace.